What's up, everybody?
My name is Anthony Irvin.
You beat yourself?
Yeah,
Yeah, CB myself.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm Jim Green.
Don't even need a hit of traffic light.
Okay, good.
Welcome to
One Set. What's up, everybody? How we doing? Welcome back to the One Set podcast. I'm Jim Green, and it's wild. It's all this daylight coming in. We're gonna get to that in a second.
natural light.
Natural lighting.
Natty light. Stop.
Stop, natty light. Stop. Just wanted to give a quick shout out to our One Set fam Facebook group for keeping it rolling. It's been really, really fun engaging with them. If you're not there, find us on Facebook. It is One Set fam. Anthony and I have been having a lot of fun engaging with the fam, the One Set fam. Join in, and like we've said before, lots of wrestling stuff because we had WrestleMania season when we started the group, but we're gonna start trickling into all the other fun aspects of the podcast that Anthony and I cover. Broski, how you doing, man? How's it feel?
Dude, it's like we're reborn in this. We're podcasting during the late morning, early afternoon. Like I said, it was so weird seeing the natural light coming into your home because we're so used to doing this at like 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night. So this is a new time for us because I'm starting a new work schedule. I finally graduated from training. So I start my first shift. Woohoo! Yeah. I start my first shift on Thursday. So this will be a little bit more of a natural thing for us. It's kind of good because then at least the people who have watched our episodes all the way through the last couple months, sometimes we'd be nodding off a little bit. So at least we shouldn't be doing that anymore. But yeah, this has been fun. And, like we said, we'll be able to start getting to do some more in-person stuff, and we'll have a little bit more time outside of stuff. And if I have like anything during my break time or days where I'm off, if I don't have any personal things to do, we'll definitely be able to do it in the mornings or early afternoons. So this is fun. It has so much more open time to edit and get a lot of things done. But before we get into what we had planned to talk about today, just want to let you guys know, if you're here for the first time, what's up, guys? Again, you're watching the One Set podcast, and you guys can find us everywhere: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and right here on YouTube at the handle of One Set Pod. Make sure you're hitting that notification bell on YouTube and subscribing. We're uploading every Friday at 9 a.m. And make sure you hit us up with a Gmail. Let us know what your thoughts are on the podcast. Do you have any questions and any thoughts on the podcast? We love any open criticism. And make sure you're hitting us up on our Patreon. We'll be doing some watch-alongs privately with you guys. And knowing that we just got off a wrestling segment, a whole series on the WrestleMania, we're always willing to continue our wrestling stuff. We like to do watch-alongs of certain matches or certain memorabilia things there, movies, comedy specials, a lot of different watch-alongs, and a lot of fun stuff for the exclusive Patreon members. And if you want to support the podcast as well, head over to our merch site. All our links are in the description of our episodes, whether you're watching from YouTube, Spotify, or wherever. So we thank everybody for watching, and all our OGs, like we said, even from the One Set Facebook group. Thank you all for the love and support. So this week, since it's coming off of a new, we're trying to regenerate a lot of our talk since we've just coming off a wrestling thing. We felt we wanted to start off with a little thing that me and Jim were talking about in our friend chat. We were talking, and one of our friends brought up that there was a song that he just realized that we've been listening to since like the late or mid or late 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And he had just now found out the meaning of it. So that song was the Semi-Charmed Life by Semisonic or Semisonic or no, Third Eye Blind.
Third Eye Blind. Yep.
And you know, it's been, you know, plastered all over radio, and we've heard it so many times, but sometimes you never really get to really know the full meaning of those songs. And he just found out that, you know, he's like, whoa, dudes, I never found out this song was about addiction. And I personally have never thought and, you know, looked up a lot of the meanings of these songs. So we wanted to see what other kind of songs that we can find that, you know, we listened to as we were growing up that we never really knew the meaning of, and see if we can find the actual meaning to the songs. Jim, before we get into this list, is there any songs that come to your mind that like you listened to and found out the meaning of the song later in life?
So I've run into with choreographing dance routines, like inadvertently I would have a boss and say would have, there's one particular instance that comes to mind where they're like, yeah, you can't use this song because it's about this. And
Gotcha.
that song is Ops by Kendrick Lamar. It's on the Black Panther soundtrack. What really hooks me, especially with hip hop music, is the beat of the song. So that song in particular, like, was fairly new, had just come out. I needed a song for the recital dance, and I was like, I'm using that because I love it, right? And most of the time, and when I say most, I mean like basically all of the time, when I'm, you know, screening the lyrics, I'm just screening for, you know, the obscenities, like the bad words kind of thing that need to be edited. Definitely. And if we go back to the late 2000s into the early 2010s, there wasn't as much dissection of music like that and checking for appropriate versus inappropriate. Like, if people heard music and there weren't bad words out there, it's like, oh, it's probably fine.
Right.
So as far like now in 2025, I have to like really look into like, does this song have a deeper meaning that I need to really steer away from? Is it like really politically involved? Like, so
exactly.
Is it making inappropriate like sexual references that I definitely don't want to be working with? Definitely a couple of songs that come to mind. One is Wild for the Night by A$AP Rocky, the Skrillex remix that I use for a competition routine. I think the year was 2014. And again, just got the edited version, so I thought I was in the clear. Nobody brought it to my attention during the season. None of the judges ever caught anything. A lot of the raps are quick, so if you don't know the song, you're probably going to miss some stuff. But just brought to my attention after the fact things that were in the lyrics that I didn't edit out, and I was just like, oh yeah, he definitely did say that. Oops.
Right.
I mean, that's like the extent of like just from my personal findings, other than our friend Matt brought to our attention the meaning behind Semi-Charmed Life by Third Eye Blind. You said Semisonic. I think that's on the list of. I think they're on the list of songs that we're about to go through. Right.
That was our first one, and I saw that. I'm like, Semisonic. Oh wait, Third Eye Blind.
Yep.
So we had the first on the list is Closing Time by Semisonic. So that's what was like in my head for a first. I'm like, oh wait, that's not the right band.
Yeah, it's all good. All good. Yeah, I think you told me about Epiphany. I think you brought that up in that same conversation when Matt brought it to our attention, right?
Correct. Yeah, because I was, you know, I'm a big Aaron Lewis fan, and I was just, you know, watching a lot of his live versions of Epiphany because I love that song. And again, never knew the meaning of it, but loved the lyric content for it.
Yeah,
And
the tone of that song, it just hit me right in the adolescent feels when we're 16 years old. It's like,
yeah, just
all
something
right.
about it. Even if you don't know that, even if you, without knowing the meaning behind it, you know, there's like an emotional, like, thing about it that really hits you.
Mhm.
And, you know, there's a video on YouTube. I'd have to go searching for it again to really remember. But he's in like a very like it's almost like a very secluded venue, maybe not even 50 to 100 people in there, it seems, and he's about to play the song, and you know, all of a sudden he's just like, you know, this song, I actually wrote this song about having ADHD, and I'm like, whoa, wait, what? I never it never connected. And he's like, when I sing it, you'll start understanding it. And even like the first lyric just hits it right there. Your words are such a whisper, your face is so unclear, I try to pay attention, the words just disappear. And I'm like,
Yeah.
just mind blown. I'm like, that's like everything. And so now, like, not even that I think of the song differently, but you know, now that I know the meaning of it, you have a different connection of it. I mean, I don't have I think every. I mean, this is a hard thing to say. I think everybody kind of has a sense of ADHD, but some of us probably have more levels of it. But just the fact that knowing, like, when you have a song that you love, and then you figure out the meaning of it, it almost like sometimes changes the way you listen to it and feel about it then, whether it's good or bad.
Well, it sparks a different appreciation for it, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. I think for me, like when I really the song Mona Lisa by Lil Wayne and Kendrick Lamar, I could tell it's like a 5.5 minute song, but I could tell after the first time I heard it, I was like, wow, they really like audibly with like the beat and everything, like take you on a journey. And then the second time I listened to it back, I really tried to pay attention to like there's just incredible storytelling in it.
Yeah.
That's one of the songs where I'm like, okay, I want to listen to something that like just takes you on a journey. That's a good one. If you're into rap and hip hop like that, which I'm
Right.
I'm actually not a lot. Even being a hip hop dance teacher, like, I mean, I have Snoop Dogg vinyl and Eminem vinyl. I think that's about it for the hip hop on my vinyl collection. But I have a lot more like rock music in my vinyl collection. So
Have you ever wanted to start your podcast but didn't know where to start? The One Set Bros are here to talk to you about Zencastr. Zencastr is the ultimate base podcasting solution and now the all-in-one podcasting platform, making podcasting easy. They've sure made it easy for us to be able to record our podcast and our episodes every week for you guys. Once you've set up your account, you're simply one click away from recording a high-quality podcast with studio-quality sound and up to 4K video with your guests. My personal favorite feature is their multi-layered backups, which ensure our recordings are always in the highest quality, even during unstable web connections. And if you thought you needed multiple tools and services for your podcast, Zencastr's all-in-one podcasting platform allows you to create your podcast all in one place and distribute to Spotify, Apple, and other major destinations. Go to zencastr.com/pricing and use our code OneSetPod, and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. I want you to have the same easy experiences we do with all our podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story. I was looking online and I wanted us to kind of go through this list. Now, there's 15 songs on here. We don't have to necessarily go through every single song. This will be way too long, but just a couple of them that, you know, came to mind and we're like, oh, okay, cool. We didn't really go and look at each of the meanings yet. We just kind of dissected and see what songs were on this list. And, you know, there was maybe 5 or 6 of them we definitely wanted to, you know, talk a little bit about.
yeah, I am coming into this pretty blind. So Anthony found this list, and I looked over a couple of them. And I was like, "Ooh, let's talk about these songs," and
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I haven't fully looked at each of the meanings yet. I just definitely, saw the band, or the artist and the song, and I'm like, okay, cool. There's like, I know this one, I know this one. There might be one I didn't know, and I'm like, okay, cool. Let's just see the meaning. Just because if I haven't heard the song, doesn't necessarily mean you can always relate or know the meaning of a song without listening to it. So, again, like we were mentioning before, the first song on this list is by Semisonic, Closing Time. This is obviously a very popular song in the bars once it's closing down. 9 times out of 10, they're most likely playing this. And from what this list was saying, on the little paragraph that it says, when you're listening to this song, you think, okay, closing time, things are closing down. But it says from this has to do with childbirth. And in the quote, he was saying, my wife and I were expecting our first kid very soon after I wrote that song. I had birth on the brain. I was struck by what a funny pun it was to be bouncing from the womb. So again, never would have thought closing time would have had anything to do with, childbirth or preparing for, having a kid in childbirth.
Yeah, he says you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here,
yeah.
right? So basically,
again, when you listen to the lyrics and watch, you read the lyrics back, like, oh, okay, I get it now.
It's basically like, get the fuck out.
Yeah, time's changing. We had fun time. Get out.
It's cool too, because I guess like poetically, you can look at like, okay, I'm closing this chapter on my life behind me before next chapter. With even if it's not your firstborn, it could be like
100%.
And you can relate to that way more than I can, but I can make sense of it, right?
Yeah. I mean, like you're saying, and not to get like too iffy about the things, but like it's saying like, oh, everything changes when you have kids, which it's true. But it's when you're having, it's definitely like, you have your own personal life, and then when you have kids, it's like, okay, everything revolves around them now. So it's like, instead of being, everything about you, it's about them. And it's definitely one of the most typical things when you're having kids. But
yeah, we were talking earlier about like errors in your life, which we're going to cover on an upcoming episode. So that's definitely something that we're going to drive into. It's just popped in my head. You know the song Like a Prayer by Madonna?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that has nothing to do with praying. We're not going to go into what it's actually talking about. Some people know what it's talking about. I brought it to Cheyenne's attention.
Or is it like a virgin?
No, it's actually like a prayer.
Like a prayer? Okay,
so
I have to see that one.
We'll talk about that one off air just because inappropriate meaning behind it. But
usually I would think anything Madonna, you're like, okay, it's a little iffy anyway.
Yeah. It's like an if you know kind of thing.
Right.
Anth, what's next on the list for us here?
Second one is John Lennon's song Imagine. Now, again, I always thought this was obviously a political song, or some in the ways of being more on the political side. But yeah, it says in here, John Lennon's lyrics were described as 22 lines of graceful, plain-spoken faith in the power of a world united in purpose to repair and change itself. And you said that Lennon called the song virtually the Communist Manifesto. So yeah, just like that, it's more of like a political type of song. I think most of everybody knows that, but I think dissecting each and every lyric, you'll get to see, the different parts of the time in the where the world was at that time. I think I'm gonna say 1971. Was it around like Vietnam, World War One type stuff? So
Vietnam was like 65 to 74.
Yeah, so I think we're still talking Vietnam-ish.
Yep.
So it was a definitely different time back then. So and there was a lot of like protests for war, anti-war, war, and everything. So it's
Mhm.
a lot of, you know, not good content for music, but it was definitely a time where a lot of musicians took a lot of things from that to write a lot of songs about how they felt about that era of time.
Right. What's the song that shoot? What's the song that oh my goodness. Fall Out Boy covered, what was that? The um Billy Joel song? Was it Billy Joel? Bruce Springsteen? We didn't start the fire. That one.
Yeah.
So that one definitely about the world, but definitely more obvious about what it is and doesn't have
Yeah.
like the hidden meaning behind it.
Mhm.
Which I think we talked about that remake on here before. I thought Fall Out Boy did a pretty good job. They'll play the OG one on the radio, which that's a song that as a kid I was just like, I don't get what they're saying about any of this shit.
Yeah, I mean, when you're a kid, you're just like, "Oh, this is a pretty good song." But then, 10 years later, you hear it again, and you actually look up what the lyrics mean. You're like, "Why was I allowed to listen to this?" Like,
Yeah. Definitely appreciate it. And then they do the modern day remake of it, and it's hitting all the things that have happened in our lifetime. And it's like,
right?
all right, I mean, had plenty of stuff to cover, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like
Um,
when they did the "We Are the World" song, and then
Mhm.
they tried to remake it for the modern day, and like doesn't hit the same.
And
Like,
it's not the same. Not the same.
they had T-Pain on the hook, like. Oh my god.
Oh man. On the real though, T Pain's live album, if you haven't heard it, you got to check it out.
Oh
He-
man,
he's
he can actually sing. Like I remember
bars.
yeah, bars.
Bars,
I
yeah.
saw him one of the ones that came out, and he was singing Tennessee Whiskey, and that was really good. That was a good one. I forget the other ones that he was singing, but that one especially, I was like, wow, like to think how he came up and was like the entrepreneur of like auto tune in a way, and to know that he actually has a singing voice, it's like you wish you would have been known for actually singing instead of being the guy like that started like the auto tune era of music in a way. I mean, auto tune's been around for so many years, but I think he was one of the first ones, if not the one, to use it in the way that he used it to make it artistic.
He was one of the like pioneers of it for sure.
Yeah, to use it as like a art and use it instead of for like musical correction. He used it as an effect. I think he's the first one to use it there. He's one of the first ones to use it as an effect
Mhm.
instead of using it for like pitch correction where it's usually used for. So now like everybody does it.
Yeah, he was like coined as like the auto-tune king. Like that was like
Right.
he did it so frequently, and then people
Mhm.
were like, oh well, T-Pain always go for his auto-tune, and he's like, hold my beer, and then drops his live album. The War Pigs rendition is
That was
fantastic.
the other one. That was the other
fantastic.
one that I remember. War Pigs. He did that really well too.
I think because they use both the Sabbath version and his version for War
Mhm.
Games, for the War
Right.
Games theme.
Yeah.
So good, dude. So good.
Yeah, very talented. I mean, if you would have told me, when we first heard of T-Pain, and you would have told us that, oh, he's going to be eventually known as like, this is actually T-Pain years later, and he's actually singing, like, that's not T-Pain. That's
Yeah.
got to be some other guy. Like, but he actually has a really good singing voice.
I want to jump down to Harder to Breathe by Maroon 5, which
Yeah.
it says here, I was just briefing over it. People claim that the song stems from like a different kind of suffocating relationship kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
He goes on to say that song comes sheerly from wanting to throw something. Like they were Maroon 5, the band was like ready. They were good with the album being wrapped up, and the label wanted them to put more songs on the album.
Mm-hmm.
So he literally was just agitated and was like, "Oh, let's just slap this song together," and it wound up becoming their first hit single that put them on the map, kind of thing.
It's funny how things like that happen. Like that singles or songs that you just make up and are not something of like the main focus of that album end up being one of your bigger hits. There's so many different bands that have had that. Like we just put this together and like I had this one little song idea, put it down, and it ended up being one of our biggest tunes.
Yeah, back to the song Ops, that I was told that I couldn't use it by the studio that I was setting it for recital. They told me that I couldn't use it with 6 weeks left to the recital. So I had to find a new song, and they were like, well, can't you just take some of the choreography from this song and put it on another song? And I think I talked about this on like 100 episodes ago. I was like, the choreography that I created was specific to the tone of that song, and just taking it and slapping it on another song, it's not going to read or make sense. Right. So I went in and told my class, like, it's not my fault. We got to scrap the song. They were bummed about it because they really liked it. I was using a hip hop track. Most hip hop tracks I can't use because there's something not appropriate about it, right? For kids to dance to in a kid's recital, you know? So I was like, all right, I'm going to find a song that has no lyrics whatsoever and literally just did like an instrumental mix. And I was like, I was really agitated about it for a day. And then I was like, well, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm not going to fight it. I'm just going to say, all right, I got 6 weeks to build a great routine, and just went in with a positive mindset and just embraced it with the kids. And it wound up being one of my favorite recital pieces that I ever did. And I think it just coming off of like, hey, I had the odds stacked against me to have a successful recital routine. So again, kind of like Adam saying, you know, the label wanted more and he was just pissed. And then it wound up sparking their coming out hit single that put them on the map and really kickstarted their mainstream career, right?
Yeah, you gotta have a laugh about that, because then like when people love the song and you're thinking, wow, just the song that I just did out of nowhere just because I was pissed, everybody loves, like the song you would never think.
I mean, there's plenty of routines that I really overthought and spent a lot of time thinking about and put so much investment in trying to get it right. Some of my best work was don't overthink it. Go in and just first thing that comes to mind, just
less is more.
Just leave with it. Yeah. What do you got next on the list, man?
I'm scrolling down to American Girl by Tom Petty. Now, I didn't really notice this one, that supposedly this song was a controversy, saying that it had to do with a suicide attempt, or a girl that committed suicide back, I guess, around the time that the song was made in 1977. A lot of people thought it had to do with like a suicide that a girl from the University of Florida. But Tom Petty, in this little paragraph, was saying that it has nothing to do with that, even though some of the lyrics kind of like portrayed,
coincidentally matched up the situation.
Yeah, because it's like alone on her balcony and could hear the cars roll by on 441. Kind of makes a little bit of connection to it, but he was saying, I mean, I've always denied that it had anything to do with that. It's just to me, it's just a love song, a beautiful love song. And when you hear more of the lyrics, that part comes into it as well. But yeah, some of the other parts, you can see why it might be, but yeah, I would have never thought, listening to it for the first time, it had anything to do with suicide. Regardless of those two lyrics, I would have never thought suicide for a first thing.
Um, sounds like this next one on the list is very similar to the Maroon 5 one. So we have Phil Collins, In the Air Tonight.
That's
And-
what I'm just on there too.
And so many people have like concocted this concept that it's about drowning.
Mm.
And he's gone on to say countless times, he's like, sorry, I lost my spot here. He doesn't even know what the song is about. He's like, someone said, did you really see someone drowning? He's like, no, wrong. This is just one of those songs that probably one song out of all the songs probably that I've ever written that I really don't know what it's about. So this song, In the Air Tonight, that we've heard forever.
Mm-hmm.
And again, a song, when I heard it like as a young child, I was just like, meh. And then I wound up dancing to it my junior year of high school. One of like my favorite choreographers ever that worked with me one-on-one
Right.
set the routine on me. And it was really kind of like a transcending routine for me, dancing like a boy and then dancing like a young man. So I now have a different appreciation for this song. But just to it comes on the radio almost all the time if I have the radio on my car, which is not often. And by that, I mean, I'm usually Bluetooth going off my Spotify. But just to think that this song is so, like, the popularity that it has gained over all this time. And he's like, yeah, there's really no sentimental meaning behind it. Like, he just cranked out a song about nothing. and it wound up being such a big hit. It's just crazy to think.
Yeah, and there's another one here that has that same, like, it has no meaning to it. And I would have thought, obviously, this song had some type of meaning, but Green Day's song Good Riddance, Time of Your Life. Everybody thought that it was out of frustration for like a breakup or some type of relationship type of song. But not sure if it was Billy that said this. It seems like it. He was told in VH1's Behind the Music, I sort of enjoy the fact that I'm misunderstood most of the time. That's fine. So it seems like he never really had an pure like idea for what the song is. He just kind of, wrote it, and that's what it was.
Yeah, I mean, Born in the USA on the list.
Yeah, I would have thought Born in the USA was just another political thing.
Yeah, and it's not even about that at all. And he's just a pioneer of, or says here, quote, he is a tribute to the fact that people hear what they want to hear. And like we talked about at the start of this episode, I hear the music in the background before I hear the lyrics, and I'm drawn to the instrumentation, or if it's a song that doesn't have a full band or even just, guitar or piano or whatever instrument it is, if it's built electronically with, Dr. Dre beats or whatever. I like that hooks me in usually first. There are some artists where like they have very prominent vocals that, I mean, I'm a big Lady Gaga fan because she has such range with her voice. Obviously, a lot of poppy stuff, but she'll go from that spectrum to like hitting these really baritone vocals, baritone, soprano, alto, right? And you're the music guy here.
Yes, soprano, alto, baritone.
Yeah, she'll go like with a really deep voice sometimes, and it's like you just don't expect that from,
especially a woman.
Yeah,
because
especially
they're usually higher register.
Mm-hmm. What else we got on this list, Anth?
I thought we were done at 15. There's actually a couple more on here. So I'm looking down and down and down. Trying to see. There's one. I saw a couple. Hey Ya by Outkast. what's it saying? When he's saying y'all don't want to hear me, you just want to dance. Near the end of the Joyful song, the lyrics are about a state of modern relationships. I think where does it say that labeling a very small portion as a bop and a huge portion as the saddest song ever written. So from what it seems like, even though it's a happy, upbeat song, it seems like he was actually coming from a more sadder scene. I'd have to look at the lyrics again to really see how you can write more of a happy song but have sad lyrics. So that's a little different, unless I'm reading it wrong. Why would love be any different if nothing lasts forever? Outkast tweeted a meme with Andre 3000's face from the music video, labeling a very small portion as a bop and a huge portion as the saddest song ever written. So yeah, there has to be some more to that than just what they wrote. I'd have to probably look into more how they feel about it, because it doesn't seem they gave a good conclusion about what that song is about.
Fun fact, you want to check out a good cover of this, Sleep Token has a cover of Hey Ya. So if you want a sad vibe to it, there you
go.
They definitely have a good melancholy version of the song. So yeah, and any others? I mean,
they have the Macarena on this, and again, I mean, I don't really think there's much of a meaning to it. They have a very small excerpt about it.
Well, there's Gangnam Style by Psy.
I saw Gangnam Style, and I looked at that earlier, and it seems like it was just, there's really no meaning behind it. It's just, I think just him being pathetic. And it's one of those songs, like, you put a beat on and the lyrics are just non-meaningful, but the beat is so good that people just start gravitating towards it. And I think he just knew, if I put a good beat to like any type of lyrics, it's gonna sell.
Yeah, as the song satirizing the pointless pursuit of material reached unseen YouTube success. Psy told The Atlantic, "Human society is so hollow, and even while filming the music video, I felt pathetic." It's like he knew that this was going to be just massive.
He
knew he was
on
going
a gold mine.
Yeah.
Was something like, wait until this comes out. I'm just gonna be selling and selling and selling.
And that song still hits. I saw a concert video of him from like a year or two ago, and that guy had sold out stadiums overseas. I was just
the one where he's like down underneath the stage and he just gets flipped up and he's
shoots
like,
up and everyone's going bananas for Psy. And then he's just like, yeah. And I'm like, this guy's whole retirement fund for him and his family has been done off of this one pointless freaking song.
And there's so many songs like that have a good beat, a mediocre dance that everybody can learn, and the lyrics just don't have nothing to do with anything. It's just, and like half people just don't even really go and read lyrics. They just kind of, again, and this can be another episode we can go into, like, to add on to this, songs that we thought we knew the lyrics to that had like, and when we actually go read the lyrics, like, oh, didn't know that was the lyric.
Mm-hmm.
So that can be something we can, add on to later down the road. But there's half that song we probably would never know half the lyrics to, because it's just, you're paying attention to the beat of it, the dance. You're not always thinking about the lyrics. So he knew what he was doing.
Anthony, you and I have this concert that we're going to Memorial Day weekend. It is Metallica and Limp Bizkit. So I think that I'm before stoked. That, dude, I haven't been to a concert in, I couldn't even tell you. It's been forever.
Did you say this is like your first like stadium show you've ever?
It's definitely my first stadium concert ever. So
yeah. It's cool. Me, Jen, and Lil Anth were at Monster Jam this past weekend, and we were at the Link, and I saw the section that we're going to be at. So I'm like, okay, cool. almost a month from now, we're going to be up there seeing Metallica, Limp Bizkit, Pantera. It's going to be a sick weekend. And I think we wanted to probably break down maybe our favorite Limp Bizkit songs maybe the week before, because for those who are longtime viewers of the podcast and even new, me and Jim are very big Limp Bizkit fans. Now, I'm a big Metallica fan. Jim doesn't know as many Metallica songs as I do, so we figured let's just break down a lot of our Limp Bizkit songs, because we've been listening to them since we met in middle school, and I think it was definitely you that brought me on to Limp Bizkit. I think so. I would most likely think, and then it was just haywire from that. But yeah, we'll definitely break down a couple of our favorite Limp Bizkit tunes, and even the album that they just put out 2 years ago is really, really good. And if you haven't listened to it yet, definitely recommend. It's probably one of their better albums they've put out in the last few, I feel, and it definitely has like OG style Limp Bizkit flavor to it, so it's really cool. But yeah, we wanted to try to keep this nice and short, since we've been going on and doing a lot of like hour and a half plus episodes with the wrestling. We wanted to kind of keep this short and sweet for you guys this week, a little bit of a breather, and so we're gonna get this one wrapped up for you guys. Bro, anything else before we sign off?
Nah, I'm stoked for these late morning, early afternoon podcasts. Like I feel like we're both awake. We have like quality energy for the viewers. Yeah, this is good. This is good stuff.
I'm looking forward to more like this.
Like I said, this is really nice. Just wait until I get a day job, and then we're screwed.
Yeah, then we'll have to just change it up again. So
we'll have to go back to nights and being half asleep again.
Yeah. Until then, we'll love doing this. But yeah, guys, one more time, just make sure you guys, if you're watching for the first time or if you've been here since the start, thank you all for love and support. My name is Anthony, and I'm here with my buddy Jim. We are the One Set Podcast. Make sure you guys are hitting us up on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and subscribing right here on YouTube, all at the handle of One Set Pod. Hit us up on our merch store. Subscribe to our Patreon. Jim, one last time, where can everybody see us and interact with us outside of the episodes?
That would be One Set Fam on Facebook. Again, the number One Set Fam.
Man. Yeah, man. Love our One Set Fam group, and we love to see everybody come together, and we're trying to just build a community over there. So make sure you guys are joining that, and we will see you all on the next one.
Until next time. Subscribe.
Subscribe.
Oh.